We come to a global capital, to a hub of progress, to the heart of change. We come to meet each other and to meet tomorrow for tomorrow's sake. We come because we are called to define our futures at the meeting place.
Hello everyone and welcome to ANU Open Day for 2023. We are really excited today to be hosting a presentation called Diversity at ANU, 10 Questions with 10 Students.
For this session, we are joined today by Ripley Rubens and Aidan Delaney from the Engagement and Success team at Student Experience and their panel of students who we welcome on stage now.
Thanks so much. Today's panel is 10 questions with 10 students, and it's a diversity panel. Today you'll meet and hear from the perspectives and stories of 10 students from different walks of life, studying different things, who bring their own unique experiences, worldviews, and expertise to this panel. So we welcome you to our diversity panel, and we're going to start with an acknowledgement of country. So we'd like to pay our respects to elders past and present on Ngambri and Ngunnawal land, which we stand on and work on and live on today. It's a privilege to be on these lands. So, to kick off.
We're going to go along and everyone's going to quickly introduce themselves. So I'll start off. I'm Aidan. I use he, him pronouns. I work here in the Engagement and Success team. And a fun fact about me is that in 2013, I was runner-up in the Mr. ANU pageant.
Hi everyone, I'm Ray. I'm a second-year student studying economics and international relations. I use she, her pronouns. And a fun fact about me is that I've spent over $2,000 on Call of Duty.
Hi guys, my name is Chidwila Reddy and I'm international student here. I'm doing masters in marketing management and I use she, her pronouns. Fun fact about me, I didn't have a name till I was 5 years old. So.
Hi everyone, I'm Anaisha. I'm studying marketing management, Masters of Marketing Management. My pronouns are she, her. And the fun fact is my nickname is Anu, that is ANU. And yeah, that's all.
Hi everyone, I'm Bambi. I use they, them pronouns and I'm studying a double in arts and science. And a fun fact about me is I have a phobia of storms, yet I love meteorology.
Hi everyone, my name's Darcy. I use they, them pronouns. I'm studying a double degree in arts and development studies and I'm a competitive Quidditch player.
Hey everyone, I'm Ashley. I go by she, they pronouns. I'm studying a Bachelor of IT, majoring in Artificial Intelligence and Cybersecurity. And a fun fact about me is I'm currently building an axe at home.
Hi everyone, I'm Shay. I use she, her pronouns. I'm studying a Bachelor of Arts and Law. And a fun fact about me is that I changed my major 4 times.
Hello everyone, my name is Min Zhao. My pronouns are she, her. I'm currently in my 4th year of double degree in Bachelor of Classical Study and Bachelor of Arts, major in International Security and minor in Linguistics. And a fun fact about me is that I love etymology, which is the study of roots for words.
Hello everybody, I'm Alex. I'm a 3rd year Bachelor of Arts student, majoring in history, political science and Spanish. I use he, him pronouns and a fun fact about me is that I speak 5 different languages.
Hi everyone, I am Ananya Banerjee and I'm an international student from India and I'm a social activist. I'm in my 2nd year of Bachelor's of Psychology Honours. I use she, her pronouns. And the fun fact about me is that I am one of the youngest social activists in India, which means I've been working for activism for the last 14 years.
Wow. So we have a pretty amazing panel. I probably shouldn't forget to introduce myself. So, my name's Ripley. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm an equity officer here. And my fun fact is I used to be a circus performer, but those days are long behind me now. And now we're going to move into the panel. So we have a bit of a dynamic, deconstructive panel for you today. So our panelists are going to move around the stage and take up a spot on the A, B, and C on the stage when we ask them a question each. And that means you'll get a sense of just how there's not one type of ANU student who comes here, and there's so many different experiences. So if we could get to our first question. So, okay, our first one, if you could choose if you could wear only one type of shoes, which would you pick? Would it be sandals, sneakers, or boots?
Okay, so we've only got one vote for sandals, so we might start here. Do you want to tell us why sandals?
Because if I can only wear one type of shoes, I'd rather it be something like that's breathable and, well, because you don't want to have athlete's foot, so it's just purely out of practical considerations. Yeah.
Excellent. And so what about sneakers? Does anyone want to tell us why sneakers might be better?
So ANU has a really big campus, and then we have to walk around a lot. And of course, back home we didn't do that, so here I am trying to walk more. Yeah.
And we have some boots representation over here. Does anyone want to speak to this?
There are a lot of puddles on this campus. I do not want my feet getting wet. I cannot deal with that.
There's also a lot of ducks. Okay. All right. Question number 2. Okay, as a kid, I mostly lived in a farm or a property, an apartment or a townhouse, or a house. Okay, do you want to start because you're in between? Do you want to? Yeah.
So I haven't grown up with my parents actually. They were in my hometown and I grew up in the city for education. So I was shifting a lot of houses, staying with relatives and moving a lot of places. So yeah, sometimes there, sometimes here.
Looks like we've got a couple in between on this side too. Do you want to explain why you're in between?
I just moved around a lot when I was younger, so it was just in between all sorts of types of houses.
Okay, does anyone want to talk about your farm or property that you grew up on?
So I migrated to Australia when I was 12 from Vietnam, and when I lived here, I was living in rural Victoria in a town called Dario, which is a really small town, 30 kilometers south of Ballarat, if anyone doesn't know what it is. And I commute to like school every day by bus, like an hour, so I have to wake up like super early every morning. It was quirky.
Excellent, thank you.
Okay, question 3. Which career would you rather have? So as an ANU graduate, you've got a lot of career options on offer, and there's 3 here. So a barista, public service, or an astronaut? All right, who would like to start?
We've got one barista here. So.
Okay, maybe the one barista.
So since childhood, I've been wanting to have my own cafe and an independent cafe, and also because I've been working for mental health, so I want a cafe with the theme of well-being, and I already have customers here that are culturally diverse. So why not?
Just the idea of, getting to smell coffee in the morning.
And the public service?
Yes, so my dad is an officer and he always motivated me to become one, but then I flew here. So yeah, if I could have, I would have, yes.
My parents are diplomats and they said that if I don't go into diplomacy, they'll stop paying my rent.
Okay, and what about astronauts?
Yes, I mean, a big part of like why I'm here and what I'm doing is I really love to create. I really love to sort of explore and discover new things, and I feel like astronauts would be a really great chance to do that and sort of learn to create, learn to discover new things, and really push the boundaries of what's possible.
That's a great point. Shay, did you want to? No. Yeah. Okay.
I can't do maths. I didn't do science in high school, but if I could be anything, I'd be an astronaut because it's like the ultimate goal to transcend Earth.
Okay. Next question is, if ANU was a Netflix category, this is a fun one, what would it be? Would it be a feel-good comedy with a clumsy but lovable lead character, a biographical tortured genius in the basement, or an understated, independent, dysfunctional family drama? Okay. Did you want to speak to this? You look excited.
I'm halfway in between a understated, independent, dysfunctional family drama and a biographical tortured genius in the basement, because there can be a lot of bureaucracy at ANU, but also a significant amount of really cool research comes out of the ANU as well. So I'm kind of like in between.
Okay. Does someone on this side want to share why you picked comedy?
I think I might be the lovable lead character because I love to step in any and every extracurricular, co-curricular activities, whether it's on campus or off campus, and that's the best part of ANU, that we have a lot of opportunities. But I think it's comedy because every day I feel I am trying on something new and I find new perspective. So, and it's comedy till I am found in a therapy session. So yeah, I'm enjoying the comedy till then.
Thank you. And maybe one more. Do you want to share why you're standing in the middle?
I think it's going to be a mixture of a biography about the torch genius as well as also a comedy, because this is most evident if you look at how groups of friends study together. Occasionally you have that few friends who are super smart and come up with all the ideas and like guide a whole team, but also you have moments where someone just blurts out something stupid and everyone has a good laugh. So it's sort of like a mixture between being tortured by assignments but also having fun with your friends.
Okay, all right. Your next question is, the thing that you found easiest at ANU has been looking after yourself, making friends, or getting good grades? Is there no one for grades?
It looks like we've got a lot of good friend making going on.
Okay.
Are you sort of leaning to the side between
large
two?
group of friendly people.
Okay, we'll start with the in-between here.
Okay. All right, I'm in between looking after myself and making friends, because I've always been terrible at making friends, but I got really lucky when moving here. I met someone and we instantly clicked, and she's still my best friend to this day in Canberra. And then looking after myself, I moved out of home for year 12, so I'd already had a year of experience before coming to Canberra, so I knew what worked and what didn't, which was really useful.
Awesome. Does anyone else want to share why you're standing in the middle?
So I moved to ANU from a rural town in New South Wales. No one from my hometown came with me. I had family up here, but no one my age. So especially after a couple of really isolating years in the pandemic, I was terrified about making friends. It was one of my main priorities, but came here, spoke to people in my residential hall, went to O-Week events, and suddenly there was just this really big community around me, and it was a lot easier than I thought it would be, which was a relief.
I think as an international student, I would say friends are extremely important, and it was easiest for me because I'm pretty extrovert and I love socializing. And what I learned here in my first year was that if you have a lot of friends, you're famous. But if you have good number of friends who will support you, you'll actually be able to survive and thrive at ANU. So I think having friends is so important, and we have so many events that I get to bond and socialize, so I love that part of ANU. Yeah.
Ashley, did you? Oh, no. Oh. Sorry.
Yeah, I mean, I moved interstate from rural New South Wales to ANU, and I think a lot of people at ANU did the same. It's a uni that attracts a lot of people from a long way away, and so because of that, a lot of people come here to make friends, and like they're all kind of coming from a similar background of not being from here. And so it means everyone's sort of looking to meet people, and it's really easy to make friends that way. I've met a lot of people through societies. I've met a lot of people through my residential hall back when I was on campus, and really create a lot of chances to meet people and get to know people who are like similar to you, but also really different from you, and like, yeah, get to know a really diverse crowd of people.
ANU has like a massive focus on community and just making sure that everyone gets together and gets around like a lot of events, like be that at residential halls or if you live off campus, there's always like a niche for you no matter where you go, which I think helps you just make friends.
And I'll just quickly speak to grades because no one has. When I was a student here, actually that was the easiest thing personally, and it was the challenge of it, and it was just the academic figure here. It was just so much fun. So anyway, not for everyone, but yes. Okay, your second question, so is the flip of this one. So the thing you found most challenging at uni was looking after yourself, making friends, or getting good grades. And now we'll see more grade representation. Okay. On the subject of grades, who would like to speak to this one?
So India has a very different format of how they assess, and here it is totally different. So I'm just grabbing it and trying to make most of it. So yeah, that is why it is a challenge for me, because taking care of myself has always been something that I prioritize. And making friends, I'm outgoing, so yes, I can do that. But this is a challenge area for me, yes.
I learned the hard way that uni in terms of study is nothing like high school, and that you really, really, really need to dedicate yourself like at least a couple hours per day or per week of study, even though like you've always got a lot on, you've got a job maybe, you've got things to do with your friends, and it's a lot. And finding that balance, and especially prioritizing study, because that's ultimately what you're here for, is a really important lesson.
Because there's so much to do on campus and a lot of clubs and societies you can join and volunteer in, and often you need to support yourself, you kind of forget, like Ray was saying, that you've got assignments to do. And yeah, you can build yourself up through all the extracurriculars, but at the end of the day, I find that the last thing I want to do is really study. So prioritizing that has been a challenge.
All right, and on the other side here, we've got looking after yourself. So, Reddy, do you want to start?
So I come from a household which, I'm from India, and you always have your mother or somebody in the house looking after for you. So coming here, trying to make your own food, look after yourself, that was a really big challenge for me, because I am not even a COVID cook, so I have done nothing. So that was a big challenge for me here, yeah.
I agree with Reddy, actually. I think because here as a student, we are not just students. Like, I want to have a job. Like, I'm working at the Brian Kenyon Student Space on campus. I would volunteer at different events on and off campus. I would love to be part of different clubs and societies and meetings. So I often forget to take care of myself, because there are assignments and all the jobs that you're doing, and also because you're adulting here, you're absolutely independent. All the decisions you're taking is on you. So I think that's a lot for a 19-year-old to go through. But I think the best part is that we do have a support system here that I can take care of myself. And also in first year, it was very challenging for me because I was diagnosed with depression. So managing my mental health with everything else, I think it was hard. But I took the service of therapy from ANU on campus, which was pretty helpful. So yeah, it's interesting.
Going along the diagnosis line as well, I agree, there is a lot to juggle when you come to uni, and there's no one there to tell you to get out of bed anymore or to tell you what to have for dinner. But on top of that, last year I was diagnosed with ADHD, so first year for me was a really long process of learning where your boundaries are, when to push yourself and when to step back and recognize that sometimes the things that you've been conditioned to do aren't what's healthiest for you. So trying to find those lines and what works for you is a long process, but there is a really big support network here.
Yeah, I think this is one of the most important messages of this panel, that there is support out there, and it's been impactful for a lot of us on this stage. So that's definitely, yeah. Okay, so as an ANU student, I worry most about study, friends, or money. After this talk of support, okay. Who would like to talk about money?
So it can be very expensive living by yourself or moving to Canberra for uni. So I live on campus in accommodation, and I currently pay $730 in rent a fortnight, which does include utilities but does not include food. So I rely on youth allowance from Centrelink as well as a job on top of study to make sure I maintain myself, and there are times where that's still not enough. And definitely not enough for me to be comfortable in being able to, go buy groceries every week and that kind of thing. So I've really had to, find a balance between all that, and I still struggle with that to this day.
Yeah, I guess to add to that, it's definitely a balance you got to strike as you move to uni. I think moving from home where everything's sort of catered for you and provided for you, to an environment where you got to really provide for yourself. It's pretty challenging with the support networks. I know in my first year or second year when I got COVID and I couldn't actually work for a week, ANUSA, the student union, actually stepped in and gave me a grant to get me through that period till I was able to work again, which was really good and actually saved my bacon at the time. And now, yeah, I actually work for the government. I do that alongside uni, and it's a really good way to sort of balance that. But it's still a case of trying to balance study and your work is really tricky, but ANU is really flexible with how much uni you do at any one time if you're a domestic student, so it's really handy for that, to be able to work at the same time.
And does anyone on this side want to share why study is the thing you worry most about?
So I think everyone would know by now that ANU is a research university, and the content that we get in certain class sometimes are really heavy. Sometimes I find out in the information in class it's very difficult to absorb sometimes, and I find that it's like really hard sometimes to study at ANU as well. Having said that, there are a lot of like support services like library to like help you write your essays, go over it and things like that. And also you got your tutors and your lecturers who are also prepared to like help you go through the content when you need them, and always give you like really constructive feedback on how you can improve in the future. Similarly, halls and lodge tend to have like study sessions that help you like go through the study when it feels like really tedious to do so. So I think it is difficult, but it's also doable.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. Why I don't worry about friends is because my friends actually remove my worry. So they're actually the best source of motivation for me. And for money, I come from a middle-class family from India, but my parents have always supported me for education, and they have put it on #1. And I'm studying here on education loan, but and I'm also working on campus, which is a great pay by ANU. But I think I still worry about study because every subject is so different. I might be studying psychology, but I've done marketing and management courses with sociology. So I think navigating my way for every subject, understanding every assignment, but I think the tutors are of great help, and they actually lessen the burden and the worries. So, yeah.
Excellent, thank you. All right, we might jump now to our next question.
Okay, so in your first year, did you use an ANU a support service like mentoring, academic skills, well-being support, or career advice, that sort of thing? Does anyone from this? Oh, unless you would have. Oh, sorry, you have to actually move. Oh my God, I do know the format of this panel at this point in the day. Okay, not at all, once or twice, or yes, a lot.
Okay, maybe we can start over this side with not at all.
I got really lucky with my on-campus student residential hall because they're very, very good with their support networks and their resources in terms of academics and everything else. So I didn't exactly feel the need to go to an ANU one. I could just get it right where I live, which I thought was super helpful.
Do you want to share something?
Sure. So I used a couple of the services throughout my first year, a couple of sessions with ANU counselling. I was involved in the first year experience program, which is like a mentoring thing for regional and low socioeconomic students. And academic skills tends to float in and out of a lot of your subjects. Like they'll be invited to give a session on essay writing in like an arts course or something. So yeah, once or twice I interacted.
If I could recommend one thing, I didn't cotton on to this soon enough, but the ANU's Career Hub is amazing, and the sooner you get on it, the better, because there are resources on it to help you build your CV, your cover letters, and walk you through what's expected of you as an ANU graduate in terms of your soft skills, and it also helps you develop some harder skills as well, like answering numerical reasoning questions and things like that. So I highly, highly recommend that you have a browse through it.
Yeah. Okay, and we've got a few over here for yes a lot. So who wants to speak to yes a lot?
So I'm actually the first one from my family to come study in abroad. So every step in this process was a first time for me and my family. And not just in ANU, but even when I was applying, I got help. Like after I got my offer letter, I did get help from the ANU team. So they were based here on the campus, and they would arrange certain team calls or Google Meet just to clear my doubts. And I did apply for my mentoring program and career services as well, and they are very helpful.
Excellent. All right, I think we might be getting close to time, so I have to...
Apologies, we're getting close to time. So we're just going to quickly jump to the next question. And which is our final question, Nilly. So very briefly, diversity is a strength here at the ANU. What is one unique strength that you bring to the ANU?
Yeah, I'm really passionate about what I do, and I'm really willing to sort of fight to really make it happen and really get to do the things I want to. There's a really good chance that you'd actually do a lot of that and really get engaged in my field and really seek opportunities to really develop myself in that area. And I'm really glad I'm able to do that. It's a really awesome strength to be able to actually, really fight for that and really seek out what I want to do and make it happen.
I think as a change maker, I bring the perspective of an international student, a woman of color, and a perspective of an activist and a change maker. Yeah.
I feel like I'm very, I try to find intrinsic motivation in anything I do because that's when I get the best out of anything I'm doing.
Yeah, so similar that I'm very passionate about things, and I bring passion, determination to ANU, and I want to contribute more in such events. Yes.
I think one unique strength I bring is that I am very tenacious. I'm willing to put myself out there because that's how I actually applied for a job as a research assistant at the Research School of Social Sciences, and that's how I got it, even after many rejections. So I think it's just important to put yourself out there, and there are a lot of opportunities here at ANU, so you're bound to find something.
I think I've had a very varied life and many twists and turns, and I think my greatest strength is that I'm a bridge builder. I like to connect people and represent myself and hear their perspective as well.
I went through a lot of hardships during my final years of high school, and I'm from a lower socioeconomic background. And one thing that I keep with me to this day, my year 12 teachers were always telling me how just resilient I was, and I like to continue with that today.
I think one of my greatest strengths is my interpersonal skills. Being a first-generation migrant have provided me with a lot of experience that I could relate to a lot of students on campus, especially international students. And since I've come on campus, I've also been involved with a lot of volunteering programs, such as ANU Plus, which is a system where they acknowledges all the volunteering time you have done on campus while you're studying. And that really helped me gain perspective, look at other students around me as well.
I would say perspective. I came from a rural public school in a really disadvantaged area, and statistically speaking at the ANU, there's not that many of us for a number of reasons. But having those diverse perspectives and values, people from all over the world, is really important.
I moved around a lot when I was younger because my parents were diplomats, so I had the privilege of moving to a bunch of different countries at a very young age. So I would say my adaptability to change, because I just went with it. I had no other choice, so I had to make the best of it.
All right, thanks everyone. And so we've just got one last super quick question to finish off. So if you'd all like to move across and tell us, the best coffee in Australia is found in Sydney, Canberra or Darwin?
Oh, so there is consensus here that Canberra has the best coffee. All right, we'll leave it at that, everyone. Thank you so much. And can we give a round of applause to our panelists? It's been amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the ANU Diversity panel. That was such an important conversation to hear. We'll be back in approximately 5-10 minutes here in Manning Clark Hall to have a conversation about accommodation at ANU. Thank you.